Hey everyone, it's Steve here again, bringing you another opening sequence. This time around it's for Rock Band Blitz. Recently released for the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade, this is the latest iteration of the Rock Band series of games, but there are a number of differences between this and the full-fledged series. The first of which is the ability to select your own power-ups before every song. Now I can't choose any right now because I don't have any coins which I can use to unlock them. But power-ups are just another word for essentially things you can use when you fill up your energy bar when you play the white notes for a long enough period of time. It's a lot like the overdrive thing in Rock Band games and star power for Guitar Hero. Same kind of thing, only in this game you get to choose what they are from a selection on the screen now. You have overdrive, note and track power-up, all of which do different things. Now we come on to the second biggest difference between this and the standard Rock Band Guitar Hero games. You don't use instruments. Instead, for this game, you use the controller. Because I'm playing the PlayStation version, I'll be talking about the controller for that, but it's going to be kind of similar for the Xbox version. Now, you only need to worry about playing 2 notes in any given lane. For the left-hand lane, you would use either the D-pad or the left analog stick, and for the right note in the lane, you can use the X button or the right analog stick. Personally, I use left and X. That's left on the D-pad, by the way, left and X, because it just makes so much sense to me. And to switch between lanes, you use the bumpers, R1 and L1. And before you even get curious about this, it's not even close to possible to being able to play every note in every lane. It's just not gonna happen. Instead, what you need to do is you need to play every lane kind of equally. On the left hand side you'll see the numbers 2x, 3x, 4x, etc. all the way up. And you'll see all the different symbols that represent the different instruments of that song. The trick is, you need to try and keep all of the numbers even. Because if you let any lag behind, like I did just there with the vocals, you don't get the same kind of bonuses. What I mean by that is, after a certain point in every song, after certain checkpoints, if all of your instruments are high enough in the score value, then the maximum maximum score multiplier increases. Right now the maximum is times 6 because I messed up with the vocals earlier, and it's not going to get any higher. However, at the next checkpoint coming up soon, see that green line coming up now, the level cap goes up. So now what I can do, by playing every instrument equally again, I can increase the multiplier further. This is why it's good to bounce between each track. Sticking to one single lane for the entirety of the song is actually detrimental to you, score-wise. It might be easier to get through the song, but in all honesty, if you're going for score, you've got to jump between all of the tracks. Of which there are usually 5. You've got the drums, bass, lead guitar, vocals, and keyboard, but in this song there are no keyboard parts, so that's why there's only 4 tracks, or 4 lanes, sorry, in this song. Typically, of course, because it's a Rock Band game, you get a star rating out of 5. In the moment I'm coming up on 3. And also to the right, there's a score meter to let you know how close you are to beating your nearest rival. Be it either someone on your friends list, as MT is, or a complete stranger. Now, at the top of the screen, you'll see a bar slowly filling up. This fills up with every note you hit correctly, and when it gets all the way to the top, when it gets full up, you go into Blitz mode. Which, as you can see, everything moves slightly faster, and makes it a bit harder. And as soon as you screw up, it goes back to normal speed. The longer you stay in Blitz mode, obviously, the more points you get. Now, one thing you're not seeing here is the power-up bonuses. Because like I said, I haven't selected any yet, so this is just a straight song. Now, I'll be honest, when I first started this up, I was a bit skeptical, because I thought it was just going to be, you know, instead of, although I knew you'd need a controller instead of an instrument, I thought it would just be like, you know, square, triangle, X, and circle, or whatever. You know, green, red, yellow, blue, and all that stuff. I thought it'd just be like playing a regular Rock Band song, just using the controller as the instrument, if you get what I mean. So, like, X would be blue, square would be red, triangle would be yellow, and you just do it that way. That's what I thought this was going to be like. But actually getting into the game and playing it like this, it's actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, especially with the way you can switch between lanes. You know, it kind of adds a certain strategy to it. Like, do you go for the easier lane, where you're guaranteed to hit all the notes, but get a lower score? Or go for the really difficult lane, where there's a chance you're gonna mess up a couple of times. But, if you do them all right, you're gonna get a better score out of it in the end. So I do like that, it is a good feature. And at the end, obviously, it gives you your performance, how you did, and your rating. This is where you get more coins and something called Blitz credit, which I haven't quite worked out what's for yet. But coins you can use to unlock the different power-ups, which I'll be doing for the next song. And tells you there what it does as well. Press square to double all score multipliers. And by that it means the ones on the left-hand side. So like if you're on times 10 for the guitar, times 9 for the drums, you know, and so on. When you've got a full energy bar, and you press square, everything doubles. So it is kind of like the old overdrive style in Rock Band. It's got nothing to do with the Blitz meter though. The Blitz meter is its own entity. Completely. Just don't even think about that in regards to score multipliers. Although you do get more points when you're in Blitz mode, that's got nothing to do with the overdrive, it's got nothing to do with the score multipliers. You know, it's... I know I kind of suck at explaining things, but you kind of get the idea. But yeah, in this song you'll get to see what the overdrive is all about, the bonus power-ups. I do recommend as well that you should definitely calibrate the game before you play it. I'm playing this before calibrating, and as you can see, sometimes my button presses are slightly off when they shouldn't be. I mean, these aren't exactly difficult songs I'm doing. It's not like I'm doing Dragon Force or something. But it seems like, you know, every now and then you're off by just a split second. Right, now at the bumper, you see a ever-increasing bar. That's the energy bar. When that gets to full, that's when you can unleash your power-up. I've got to say this as well. I don't know if it's the same for the Xbox Live Arcade, but for the PlayStation version, you download the game, you install it, and then you play it, but the very first time you play it, it tells you that you haven't downloaded the music pack yet. So you then have to go and do that separately. I find that a little strange, considering I would have thought that it would have been easy enough for them to put the music pack in with the game itself. It's kind of annoying as well, because when you download it, the section you download it from, it doesn't mention this at all. You only find this out when you load up the game for the first time, and it gets annoyed at you for daring to try to start the game without having music for it, which is very weird. On the subject of music, by the way, the game comes with 25 new songs. Well, 23 actually. 23 new songs. 2 songs have been in Rock Band before. They were in Rock Band 2, but they weren't previously exportable. But now you can play them in this game. But all the songs you get for this game, you can instantly play in Rock Band 3. As well as that, the songs you've previously downloaded from the Rock Band Network, Rock Band 3, to play normally, you can play them in this game as well. So that's good. You've got like access to the entirety of the Rock Band 3 library to keep you entertained. And I've just realised what this game reminds me of. If any of you ever played Audio Surf on the PC, it reminds me of a lot of this. This game reminds me of that. Which is good, because I loved the hell out of that game. Some of the modes were very confusing though, I didn't quite understand them. But it's the same kind of thing. You sort of go from lane to lane whilst listening to music in the game, you know? Beat Moose Jaw. He's not on my friends list, by the way. He's just a random person who appears on the score sheet. Okay, now you see I'm up in times 16 times 14. This is now because I've got my boost activated. You see the bar is slowly getting less and less. As long as there is still energy, I'll get double points for everything. So obviously, just like when you're playing Rock Band, you kind of want to hit all the white notes to keep your power up for as long as possible. Because as soon as it ends, you kind of got to work a bit harder to keep it. I mean, now I should have hopped over to the bass then. Sorry, lead guitar. But yeah, this is actually quite a good game. Like I said, at first I was skeptical, but after playing it a bit, it's actually kind of good. Some of the vocal notes are a bit odd. I mean, I guess it's kind of difficult to transpose lyrical movements into note form. So I gotta give them kudos for at least trying that. But other than that, I can't fault this game. It's like they've turned Rock Band into an arcade game. And that's always a good thing. We need more arcade games. Well, more good ones, at least, I should say. Goodbye, Dora. Definitely going to need to practice these a bit more, though. Right, let's see how many coins I got for this one. I guess I could have got more points from the power-up. But once again, I'll get used to it. That could have been a lot worse, I suppose. And there I've got another power-up that I can unlock. Blast Notes. Not quite sure how that's going to pan out, but sounds interesting to say the least. Oh god. You know you've played bad when you're beaten by someone called Fluffy Butternuts. But in any case, that was Rock Band Blitz. Hopefully you've been able to get some kind of idea on how it plays, and whether it's for you or not. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.